people call it shit coins. We have a different belief. We believe that meme coins are always there. Have you tried all the games?
I've tried some of them.
They're fucking amazing. I never believed that TradFi or like institutional, all this bullshit. I believe in like the retail. If it works really well, right, you have no fucking idea that Solana is behind. We did a close to 1 million airdrop. Focus on the user. Fuck TradFi.
Can you please introduce yourself with your name, title, and project?
I'm Siong, co-founder of Jupiter.
And tell me about the last week then. Obviously, a huge amount of time and attention has been put into the conferences that are happening here in Singapore this week. You've got Breakpoint today and tomorrow. Previously, you had Token 2049. Formula 1 is around the corner. So it's been pretty hectic. Tell me about the last week, month leading up to this conference, and what has your main focus been?
Obviously, I'm not sure you saw the keynote this morning. We're launching a few things.
Yes.
The API for Solana, then IFQ, the mobile app, Perps V2, our Ape Pro, new app. Yeah.
Which one of those excites you the most?
I do products as well, so technically I hang around with all these products just to get an understanding of what's happening and stuff like that. I would say I spend the most time on is the Perps V2. Is because the way we are doing it right now is very cool. People have to do things on even Solana or Ethereum. You have to pay for gas fees. The new version of the Perps requires 0 gas fees. So what that means is that if your wallet doesn't have SOL, but you have USDC or anything, you can start trading as well.
Very interesting. Yeah. And then how does that tie into the fact that both yourself and Solana is focusing also on a hardware element? Now there's a new phone coming involved. Is there an integration there?
No, we do help a little bit on the what they call it, feeder,
Seeker,
Seeker, whatever. Yeah. We do help a little bit on the front. Like the cool thing about our new apps, the new mobile apps, is that the Android is built natively, so we're not using some kind of React Native or whatever that like work across platform. So I'm pretty sure the performance on the Seeker will be a lot better. Yeah.
Okay. And if we sort of zoom out for a second and we stop thinking about Singapore and the conferences, which is difficult given how much is happening and all the announcements that are happening here, what are your sort of general thoughts about the state of DeFi on Solana at the moment?
It's actually very funny. The previous guest and you were talking about like meme coins, or some people call it shit coins. All these different things. We have a different belief. In this ecosystem. Yeah. We believe that meme coins are always there. Like before that, you have like Doge, which happened 7, 8, 9, almost 9 years ago, whatever, when the Bitcoin.
Ago, and the market cap went to 90 billion on its peak,
exactly.
I think, right? So that's serious.
Yeah. So the way I think about this is like, you always have one big thing, the big major meme coin, and things always propagate downward, right? Then obviously there are going to be a lot more meme coins, but people probably put a lot of expectation of this meme coin being like 90 billion market cap or whatever.
That's the benchmark.
Obviously, even to be honest, even 5 million meme coins, it's actually pretty cool. If it's being actively traded, people are using it for some reasons, right? And our belief is that meme coins are here to stay. So that's why we're launching the Ape Pro product, just to make it a lot easier to trade meme coin.
So you think meme coins are here to stay. One of the discussions that's happening upstairs is whether or not meme coins are net negative or net positive. I get the feeling that you have a bit of a biased opinion on that, but it is quite polarizing. Some people say we shouldn't be associated as an ecosystem with meme coins and speculation because it sort of steals some of the attention from the real life applications of the really interesting products and services and innovations that are happening in the space. Other people say, let people do what they want and have fun. Do you have strong feelings about that?
I feel like the whole discussion was like, saying one thing is wrong, one thing is right, or like whatever. It's just wrong. It's just a waste of time to get going. And I don't think that meme coin is bad. Why even put a label on it, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's polarizing. Some people have really strong opinions about it. As I said, other people just think let it happen. If people are having fun, it's harmless. I think that's the key point. If people are having fun, like why not? Yeah. But then one of the points that I heard earlier from one of our guests is that if it stops being just fun and it starts being a largely extractive activity where retail that is maybe just coming in, buys a bunch of meme coins, gets rugged a few times, loses a lot of money, they might end up in a situation in their mind where there is this semi-permanent association of crypto and meme coins and losing money. So that's, I think, the reason, one of the reasons that feeds into this argument that it is net negative. And another one of these topics that I find quite interesting is airdrops. And I have a feeling you're going to have some strong opinions about airdrops.
I mean, we did a close to 1 million airdrop to all the users, and I think it's net positive for us. And the token, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the price. I think it has been doing quite well. Then what you were talking about Memecoin being like a bad like image for all the new beginners on Solana or whatever chain they're going to trade on. But I also feel like it's also a very good way for people to learn about it as well. Yeah. Without Memecoins, people are just like, okay, like why should I buy tokens to start doing like lending and borrowing, stuff like that. Yeah.
How do you feel? So if we focus slightly away from the retail applications and the sort of small-scale degeneracy that we enjoy, and the gambling and the speculation, if we think about the institutional adoption narrative, people are paying a lot of attention to RWAs, real-world assets coming on-chain, and the vast amounts of value that could bring into crypto. Do you have strong feelings about that? Some people think it's going to be the next big thing, and we're going to stop talking about meme coins and we'll start talking about RWAs.
I mean, people were excited for ETF, like nothing really moved. With Bitcoin coming up, ETH coming out, all these like big ETF that people believe that will bring a bunch of institutional coming in, but we know what happened over the last 6 months. I mean, like at Jupiter, we work very differently because we do believe to build for the retail and to make the best product for the users. Yeah, it's mostly on not the top 5 or 1%, mostly for the 99%. Yeah.
Clear, and that's going to remain your focus at Jupiter.
Yeah. It's actually pretty funny as well. From time to time, we get people asking us, like, "Yo, they're using Fireblocks, tools for institutional to trade on. It's like, yo, I cannot trade on Jupiter. Can you help us like figure this out?" Then I have to like, okay, like we haven't really tested the tool for Fireblocks, so I have to like went in, like to figure it out. Yeah.
But no immediate plans to start servicing the institutional market. I mean, we're here in Singapore. Finance is pretty big.
I mean,
here.
It works right now. Like we don't really support it, but it works right now with Wallet Connect, with Fireblocks, with like all these different tools. But definitely not our focus right now. Yeah, it's just very antithesis to what we believe in. Like we believe in retail. We believe like mass amount of users. Yeah.
So some people also argue that this increasing alignment of TradFi and DeFi is either going to be problematic. It's another one of these polarizing issues. It's going to be either problematic or it's going to bring in so much capital that it's net positive and everybody's going to make better decisions as a result of the industry as a whole maturing. Do you feel strongly about TradFi and DeFi's alignment?
I mean, it's actually kind of sad that like all these people who say like, oh, we want to create DeFi, all these new innovations that are going to come out from blockchain, but where are we learning all this from? The traditional finance. So do we believe that they are the one who are smart enough to tell us to do the right thing, but we are, at the same time we want to disrupt them? It's always a very counterintuitive idea for me. It's like, oh, like why are all these people, because they are saying that they are from Goldman Sachs, is coming to like DeFi to help us out? It's like it just doesn't make sense to me. The whole point here is to disrupt TradFi, right? Why are we like picking up learning or like picking up advice or learning to them, listening to them about all these things that they fuck up there? Right. Yeah. So
we should be more cautious about TradFi and DeFi aligning.
I'm not saying to be more cautious. I'm just saying like like do whatever you want. Like the whole thing here is like, is this new cool thing? Is this new cool chain right now? It can be a DeFi. It can be Bitcoin tradings. It can be like doing whatever. We are not here to stop people from innovating. We are here to like encourage people to innovate. The way I look at problems is that sometimes we don't have to be like innovative to fix a problem. The cool thing about problem is that problems are there. Like it just depends on whether people want to go and fix it, right? I think the new Jupiter Mobile is actually very cool in the way that we still haven't seen a very good like Solana focused app that people can use. Like, you have like Phantom that you can do like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and then you have Solflare. And all like still not a very good like swapping experience like as an app. We see the problem there, just that no one really like want to solve it. Yeah.
Is that what's missing in Solana? Yes. Think?
I mean, it's actually very cool, right? With the wallet embedded into the app, there are a lot of things we can do. Like you don't have to think about all these things that you have to do. You go on the web, like you do something, you have to wait for this thing to pop out, you have to confirm, all this like crazy thing. Like if we build the wallet directly into the app. There's so many things we can do. Like, for example, swapping on any, like, not on Jupiter. Jupiter is the coolest way to swap. Like, we take care of all the, slippage problem, all the fees problem. Like, now with mobile, because we have the wallet directly embedded into the app, you don't have to think about when a transaction fails, what do you do? We just retry it for you. Like, everything is like transparent. You find a token, you click swap. Transaction failed, we retry. Fees not enough, we increase. Slippage not enough, we increase. All without you worrying about all these problems. Yeah.
Solving a lot of problems. So the UX is significantly improved. Clear. If we zoom out from DeFi for a second, there's a lot of different verticals in Solana that are attracting a lot of attention. You got DeFi, you got DePIN, RWAs, as we mentioned. Which of these verticals excites you the most?
I think DePIN. DePIN is actually very cool because it's tangible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like people can see, like people can try it out, people can do. I'm not sure how it would develop as a market. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The cool thing about DePIN is that if it works really well, right, you have no fucking idea that Solana is behind it. Mm. Right, you just use it day to day, but behind it, Solana is the back end or whatever, they're powering all the system, right? As a user, it's like, just come in, do whatever. Like, you somehow just forget, it's actually something that's happening on Solana. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else is happening on Solana that's really, really exciting to you?
Like, I think Helium is amazing. Mm-hmm. It works very well. Yeah, people are using it in US and everything, and like even Ethereum or like any L2 doesn't have anything remotely close to Helium. I actually have no idea why people are thinking about think that like Solana is like a chain for meme coin trading and all these different things. But we have all these cool applications right now that are happening. Obviously, if you talk to people who think about it this way, it's like they're mostly like coming from different chains. They just want to find a way to say something about the chain. Mm-hmm. But we all know, like we are in this space. We are Solana for so long. There are actually so many cool applications on Solana that are better than Ethereum, L2 or anything like that. Yeah.
So we don't need a catalyst, is what you're saying. We've already got to a certain point where we shouldn't be associated with that.
I think the cool thing about this is like all these things are happening right now. We just need more people to keep building on it. Yeah. Sooner or later, like people's perception will change. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's it's like something will happen and suddenly everyone will start thinking about it differently because why spend the time thinking about changing other people's perceptions when we could just spend our time building like better things? Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the strongest pull factor for new users into the Solana ecosystem? Then what has the highest amount of gravity? What solves the largest number of problems for people that are outside the ecosystem?
That's why I was mentioning earlier, right? Like if a project become very successful, like all the DePIN projects become very successful, users probably have no idea they are using Solana day to day. Yeah, that's the coolest thing about any like infrastructure or any like chain. Yeah, and
in terms of growth, where do you think the highest amount of growth is going to come from? Then is it DePIN because it's in its early stages and it has this high amount of potential, or do you think that TradFi is going to come in with vast amounts of capital and DeFi is going to grow and be the sort of?
I never believed that TradFi or like institutional all this bullshit. I believe in like the retail ground up like stories, and I want that to happen. Like actually, like I want to share one story. When Helium launches, they were at I think some other chain. Yep. Before they moved to Solana, migrated. They were on their own chain. Then they migrated onto Solana. Correct. That day was like one of the highest growth day on Jupiter, because people start using it. People need to swap and whatever. Like I think we saw like 200 or 250% growth on that day alone. And these people, they were just using it on the Helium app. They have no idea behind it was Solana or anything like that. Yeah.
Is that the future that we're going towards? Then you have people using technology to solve problems without realizing what the underlying technology is?
Yes, and also there are going to be a lot more meme coins, and we'll be there to capture all the swapping volume. Yeah.
Meme coins are here forever, is that what you're saying?
I mean, meme coin, DePIN, so many. I mean, I think multiple smaller DePIN projects. I feel like one thing that people always want to push for is like things has to be more than a billion to be huge. But I do believe that things can be huge for like 5 or 10 million, solving like small problems, like it's in different areas around the world. But the cool thing about this is that then we can have like 10, 100,000 of like 10, 20, 10, 100 million tokens that are small cap, but people will just swap in and out for different purposes. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the layer 2 discussion? It used to be that Solana would get compared to Ethereum layer 2s, and now layer 2s are being launched on Solana.
I actually tweet about this before. Like, people in Solana, they talk about layer 2 just because it sounds cool. Like, it has no meaning behind it.
We don't need them?
No, we don't need them. Yeah.
Clear. Will we need them in the future?
So far, the congestion problem, I think with the new version has solved a lot. I mean, over the year, like I think early this year was pretty bad. Like, every time the market moved a little bit, then it's very hard to swap on chain. I think over the last few months, it has like gotten a lot better. Personally, from like an engineering, like technical perspective, I feel like there's still a lot of room for Solana to grow before we will come into like the whole like L2 problems. And I personally think that the whole L2 is just a wrong example that we need to learn from Ethereum. Like, there are better way to solve the problem without even going into a new chain, like with L2.
What's the biggest risk then that Solana faces in your mind if we do go down the route of commissioning all these L2s and thinking we'll have L2s that solve specific problems and that's maybe the right way to go? What are the risks associated with that?
The good thing about being not the first, there are things that we can learn from. You can see whatever happens to Ethereum with all this L2 like around it. Yeah.
What are we looking forward to the most in the Solana ecosystem over the next 12 months, 24 months? It's a bit more difficult to think about the longer term future, right? As soon as you go beyond 2 years, it's a bit murky. But
I'm actually very excited. I'm very excited because if you look at, this conference is amazing. Like, everyone's like, everyone I talk to, they're building cool new things. They're bringing more new things onto Solana. I was walking around the gaming lounge. Have you tried all the games?
I've tried some of them.
They're fucking amazing. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you're there 2 years ago, all the games like shit games. Like this year, like I was playing the Ori, like the Atlas game. Yeah. That was amazing. Like the first-person shooter. Then you went to the Ori launch. The RPG was amazing as well. I was like, wow. I have no idea it has been. I mean, when they first launched, everyone talking about all different things, like, it's not great, whatever. But when I was playing it just now, it was amazing. Yeah. The graphic, everything. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to improve significantly then, or that it needs to improve significantly?
That's exactly go back to the same thing I was talking about. People who are playing all these games, they have no idea Solana is behind it. They just have to play it, swap within the game, buy whatever items backed by an NFT. They have no idea.
What can we look forward to hearing from Jupiter in the next 12 months then that's going to give us a little bit of alpha?
All the new things that I announced earlier today will be rolling out. Yeah, hopefully we can get more users onto the Solana ecosystem. People can start swapping on the mobile app. Yeah.
So any final words about gaming, about AI, about any of the verticals that we talked about DeFi, about TradFi? Any final words you want to share with us?
Like focus on the user. Fuck TradFi.